Saturday morning, afternoon, I guess. Very special guest from the other side of the world. Man,
Hi,
please introduce
everybody.
yourself. Let them know who you are.
Sorry, I didn't hear it. It was short.
Oh, go ahead, introduce yourself, my friend.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I am Mihai from the Romanian rock band Dirty Shirt. I play keyboards and guitars on the band, and also I'm the composer of the band. So we are from Transylvania, from Dracula's country. We are mixing some metal with Balkan and traditional music from Romania, and I live in France. So this is a short introduction.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love hearing, I love our local music, obviously, but to go other places in the world, such as France or Romania, and you still find the same atmosphere and the same style of music, it's pretty amazing, man. So, you guys have been busy lately, eh? You got a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes, we had to catch up after 2 years of COVID. Of course, 2020 was a blank year. We had only one show. So last year it was just, I think, between 10 or 15 shows that we had. So this year it was really the most intense year on the band history because many big events that was canceled in 2020 or 21 were
Yeah.
rescheduled this year. So it was all the big events that it was rescheduled plus the new ones. So it was crazy. It was really crazy this year.
Oh, it's good to hear you guys got out this year and stuff, man. Fucking, after a whole pandemic shit, mm,
Yeah.
it was very brutal on us musicians, man. Hey, I was up in Sudbury there for a bit. She went to her mom's, and then I'm live on the air. Just so you know, yeah. They're heading out to a hockey game, so he's coming in. So I might have a couple people pop in and out as we're here.
No problem.
So, what were some of the better qualities of being on the stage this year? What was it you liked the most getting back up out there?
It's difficult to choose just an event that it was the best this year because we had really some really big events. For example, we played at Hellfest in France. I don't know if you know the festival. It was a huge edition with 2 consecutive weekends, more than 300 bands. So we played in the front of 15,000 people or something like this. It was really crazy, especially that we played with the orchestra. We were like 20 people on stage. So it was quite intense. And also, we played at Poland Rock Festival. It's a huge event in Europe, in Poland, and it was like 50,000 people there. So it was really stressful at the beginning, and it was really hot, but the ambience it was incredible. So many shows also in Romania. So it was really really cool.
Yeah, no, I've heard that festival. I've thought about going a few times, but it never quite works out to fly over and all that. But man, that would have been exciting. Did you get? Obviously, you got to see some of your favorite bands on stage as well, man. What was that like to share the stage with so many great bands and musicians?
Being on the same poster with Metallica, with I don't know Alice Cooper, etc., etc. It was really it's really kind of dream that we had when we were kids. But in the same time, when you go to play in a festival, you don't have the time, the energy to be as a standard public there because you have to prepare the show. Even at the Hellfest, we stayed for 4 days, but the first day, yes, we were like watching the shows. But the second day when we played, after the show, we were really exhausted and. We couldn't go to see many concerts, and also we had a lot of interviews to give, so we didn't have the time to see a lot of shows. But for me, this year at Hellfest, the best show that I could see from the beginning to the end, it was Bring Me the Horizon, and I was really in the front of the stage. I made some couch surfing, etc. It was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, Hellfest is huge, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make it one of these days for sure, man.
But it's
Maybe.
quite difficult to have tickets because usually the tickets are gone in like 1 hour
Oh,
or less. It's
I
crazy.
know. You basically have to set the timer or alarm on your phone. Tickets go on sale in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I know the example for this year edition, as it was a double edition after the pandemic. I have friends that they wanted to buy tickets, and in like 10 seconds, it was too late. It
Wow,
was
eh?
more than 20 people in front of him to in the waiting list.
Yeah, I've noticed here now with all the shows opening up, you better be right there at Ticketmaster waiting in line, man.
And I think this is kind of tendency, at least in Europe. The huge events are working really, really well. For example, the smaller festivals and smaller bands are really, really touched by the pandemic. The big events are doing quite well. At least this is my perspective, and it's not only the case for Hellfest, but also Wacken Open Air and other big festivals in Europe. The sellings are really, really, really quick. So they are doing sold out year after year.
No, that's great though, because even though you have big headliners, all your little guys are on before all them, and I love seeing that. You know what I mean? I've met so many bands that way, like Code Orange and Clutch. I've seen them on the small stage at a festival, and then you're like, oh,
I
I'll check
think
them out.
I think that this is one of the nice things of the big festivals, that usually they are booking also smaller bands. For the smaller bands, it's a big chance to play in this kind of festival, but also for the audience, it's a chance to discover many things. And even for us, discovered many bands really interesting this year at Hellfest, and not only.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I can't believe you guys played that. That's awesome. I'm like fan shocked now, fanboying now. So let's indulge into the artwork, man. You guys got
Sorry,
a little artwork there with the nurse and the needles and stuff.
sorry, I didn't hear. It was the sound. It was stopped.
Oh, your artwork on
What are we? What are we working now on? Okay, so we will continue because this spring we released the new album. So we had the first part of the tour with indoor shows this spring. It was this summer with a lot of festivals in Romania, France, Germany, Poland, etc. And
yeah.
this fall we continue with the second part of the tour. And tomorrow evening, the European time, we will release our live at Hellfest. So it'll be
Oh,
the YouTube premiere. I think it's 19 CET, so it's 18 Greenish time. I don't know
yeah.
the time in your place. And after that, we will continue the shows in Europe. We will have in December in France, in Belgium, in Poland, and yeah, a lot of work. But for the new songs or new album, it's not yet, because we just released the new album like 6 months ago. So yes, there are new ideas that are coming, but we are still enjoying the new album, especially that the previous album was released in 2019. And
Yeah.
just 6 months after the release, after the tour, we have to cut to stop the tour because of the pandemic. So it was like a double tour that we are doing now with two albums. So we will wait for new music for next year, I think, at least.
Yeah. So the new album title, I like the album title. Get your dose.
Get your dose now. Yeah, it was we played with the words a little bit because the first idea is, yes, get your dose of music, but in the same time, with the crazy times with the vaccines, etc. So it was kind of double
A
signification.
double play. No, that's cool. And then the artwork really plays with the title as well. I love how you have
Yes.
the notes on there, like the. Um, who did your artwork? Did you guys come up with that yourselves, or did you sub that out to another company?
Sometimes it's our guitar player that is doing some artworks of the band, but mainly he's doing our videos. But we are working also with designers, friends from Romania, and this one was made by Leah, a very good friend from Romania, and she already made several posters and artworks for albums for us. We just gave her the idea, this is the name of the album, and we are joking a little bit because she made a kind of auto portrait of the artwork, because they said, you didn't realize that the girls in the artwork, she looks like you. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's sick. So you guys have T-shirts and you guys have merch and all that for
Yeah,
sale?
yes, of course. Yes, of course. You can find our merch on our official shop, dirtymerch.com, I think, or something like this. And of course, our Bandcamp, where you can find our merch. And of course, at the shows.
Yeah, yeah. The shows are the best to buy the merch because then you're there.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes. Of
So
course, it's one thing to to see a band on internet and to say, "Oh, I love this guy. I will buy a T-shirt." And it's really different when you go to a concert and you feel the band, you meet the guys, and you say, "Okay, I want to support them." So most of our merch is sold at the concerts, of course.
yeah. Well, I love that. Like, do you guys sell your own merch? Do you guys take turns sitting in the merch booth and interacting and talking with everyone as they come by? Or
Yeah, but we have usually we have someone who's helping us to sell the merch. But of course, we are there, we are around, so we help. Of course, we stay in touch with the public, with the friends, with the
yeah,
fans also.
yeah, you definitely got to interact with the fans, and then they buy the shirt, they get to shake your hand, get the signatures,
Taking
right?
pictures, take a drink together, talk about everything.
Yeah, you got to have a drink.
Yeah. We have a special drink from Romania. It's even a song is called Palinka. It's a
No
strong
way.
alcohol. Palinka, 55 degrees.
Oh,
Plums. It's strong. It's for
wow.
real men.
I might be known to drink rum now and again.
When you want, you can come in Romania and you can taste it.
Oh man, I'm planning a big trip over your way there next year. This year I'm heading down to South America, hitting Venezuela, and then maybe over to Peru and Colombia, and head down to fucking Borneo, right? But we'll see. So when you're on tour, obviously you guys did a lot of touring this year with the almost double release of the two albums and everything, all like that. What what are some of the best moments that you remember from being on the road? Or do
You
you
know,
even?
usually when we are together in the van, it's like something is happening. Like the IQ it's going low, and we start to be
Yeah,
crazy to make bad jokes, etc. So there are really a lot of fun moments. It's quite difficult to just remember one, but this I think for a band it's really important to have fun also outside the stage. Yes, the main thing is the stage. The main or at least for us, for me, it's the main pleasure to be a musician is to be on stage to share the music with my friends from the band, but also with the public. But behind that, it's really important to have real relations within the band. And when we are together, it's crazy. It's crazy. We are doing jokes, we are etc. So it's nice.
no, that's so cool, man. I love being on tour. I personally love the road. Even my 9 to 5 job, I'm gone on the road for like weeks at a time. Right?
You
I,
know, almost everyone from the band we have a job, so we are doing the music as a passion, as a hobby, and it's not easy because you have to find the balance between your personal life with the family, your kids, with the job, and also with the music. But in the same time, if you have a job, you are independent, you have a freedom because you're not pushed by the labor or by your management to do the shows all the time. You choose how often you play, you choose when you play, when often you want to make a new album, etc. So yes, there are good advantages, but there are also disadvantages, of course.
yeah, no, like I always find the food. Where where was the best place where you got the best food while on the
Ah,
road?
I think it's Budapest.
Yeah,
We played twice in Budapest, and each time there was a lady who made the catering, and it was really crazy. The second time when we saw it's her, oh, we got, oh, how are you? It's great. Of course, then for the big festival, also the choice of at the catering is incredible. At Hellfest, it's also, for example, at Reload Festival, it was incredible. But for me personally, it was Budapest. Yeah, it was incredible with with Hungarian touch, with local products, and really tasty.
yeah. Oh, food is the most important thing on the road, I think. You can't
Sometimes the
eat
organizers don't.
right?
Sometimes the organizers don't realize that you were on the road. You I don't know. The last evening you go to bed at 3 o'clock. You woke up at 7. You have been on the road all day, and you arrive there and don't have food. You can get angry, and sometimes you're not like this if you don't have food.
Right. We call that hangry. Get all
Yes,
hangry, shit,
yes.
right? But yeah, everywhere I go, I try to get the street meat or find a little local mom and pop shop and sit down and have a real meal.
Yeah, but the problem is when you are touring that you don't have the time because you arrive
Yeah,
directly. You have to prepare, the sound check, the setup, etc. After that, you have a little bit time to eat, and most of time now, if it's possible, we go to the hotel to sleep a little bit because last night we had 3 or 4 hours sleeping, and when you are doing this many night after night,
yeah.
it's not easy. So usually we eat after the show.
Yeah, right. Oh, Tammy says hello. Hollywood
Hello,
says,
Tammy.
oh, I don't want to leave that. Cancel that. There we go. I almost left the stream. I was like, oh shit. If I do drop out, just keep talking. I'll be right back. Don't worry. But so some of the like your influences growing up. I'm always curious about this too, especially being from overseas. There, who were some of your biggest influences that got you into music in general?
I think that the main sound, the main core of the sound of the Dirty Shirt is new metal with industrial, with alternative. The '90s big bands like Korn, like Tool, like System of a Down, like Rammstein, all these Nine Inch Nails, etc. Rage Against the Machine. So I think this is the main core, the sound behind. But on this skeleton, we added a lot of influences from our part, from our country, with a lot of traditional music, and this is why we added in studio, but also live, a lot of traditional instruments, acoustic instruments. We have violins, we have accordion,
Yeah,
clarinet, flutes, cymbalum, percussion, etc. And also we are really open musically, so we are using a wide influences from reggae to, I don't know, world music, Celtic, gypsy, etc. So everything it's okay to use in our music, but in the same time we try to have an homogeneous sound. So I
mm,
think that we arrived at, even if you listen the last 3 or 4 albums, you will if you make play, you will realize that it's Dirty Shit, it's our sound, even that all these influences are really different.
mm. No, you guys have a. It's amazing the diversity between your albums and then even the songs on, but still holding true to that metal spirit. Like
Yeah, that we are rockers, yes, of course. But I think, for example, Fade No More is a band that influenced me a lot as a composer, and also their music is really diversified. You can hear a lot of influences, but after just 5 seconds of you recognize this is Fade No More. Even
yeah,
if sometimes it's really heavy metal, sometimes it's like pop music, sometimes it's really different. Just a couple of measures, and you say, okay, this is Fade No More.
yeah.
So
They're a very distinguished band. Like you can hear their sound and their style no matter what kind of style they actually play,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Why not? Trent Reznor was a big one for me too, growing up, being in,
Ah,
know.
we played in the same evening with Nine Inch Nails at Hellfest. I'm a big fan.
Oh,
Yes, but he was in the main stage. We were in a secondary stage, and I'm a big fan of Trent because I think the electro and industrial sound of Dirty Shirt is really influenced by him, by his sound. I am listening for him for like 25 years, 30 years already, and of course, when I do synth sounds, I'm obviously influenced by him. But I saw Nine Inch Nails twice in concert, but it was funny. But I couldn't see their show in the audience. But I was in the catering area at the first floor and seeing all the stage and all the people. It was nice to see the concert from above.
all right. Well, it, people don't understand that, like the difference when it comes to like being on the stage and then or being in the crowd. It's a total different side of the coin in that sense. For as a crowd, you're down. Sometimes you can't see. There's taller people in front of you and shit, right? But to be
But
on the stage and to look out across everybody, you can see everybody, every individual.
yes. But it's the same coin, as you said. It's the two sides of the coin, but it's the same coin. So I think that the energy that is flowing, that is spreading there, the people on the stage and also the people in the crowd are feeling the same energy.
Yeah.
The difference is that when you are on the stage, you can see everybody, and you know that you are the origin of this energy, and it's like a drug. I think for us, not playing in the pandemics, it was really crazy because if we have a break of 1 month, we are not okay. We are missing a lot of the show, so
Yeah.
it's really dependent. You became it creates a dependency.
No, it's weird to see. There was a few bands that didn't make it through the pandemic. They just said, fuck it, shut her down, went their separate ways. But the new music that came out because of it, oh man, you can't argue with some of the new bands that are coming up, right? Like, there's got to be some local bands that you've been hitting up on some shows. Like, let's give a little shout out to the local scene over there.
Yes, of course, when we can, when it's possible, often we are taking local bands to play together. And also what we are doing, sometimes we are doing exchange projects with bands from other countries. For example, before playing at Poland Rock, we met a Polish band. Litka Grubasa is the name, and we have a lot of similarities. They are crazy. They are using Polish music, and we became friends. So, for example, we toured together in Romania. We had two shows like 1 month ago in Romania. Then in December, we'll go in Poland to play with them. And next year, we will continue. So this kind of exchange we made also with French bands, for example. And I think this is a very good strategy because if you go to play in a country that you never played before, probably you won't have a lot of people in the front of the stage. So if you do an exchange, it's a win-win because, okay, I go in your country where you are a local star if you want this, but I know you will bring several hundreds people, and when you come in my country, it will be the same. So it's a win-win.
Have you guys thought about a North American tour? Have you been over stateside or even Canada?
We never played except from Europe, and yes, of course, for every European band, they are a double dream playing in North America and Japan. This has the big dreams to play abroad. The problem is that
all the time, everybody wants to go to Japan and play.
Yes. But the problem for us that the costs are huge. We are eight members in the short version of the band. So we have like 3 versions of the band: the standard version with 8 musicians, intermediate with like 14, and big version with more than 20. But even with 8, take all the equipment, taking your tech team, etc. So it's really complicated. And for the moment, we still focus on Europe. There are a lot of work to do still in Europe. We played a lot like in east-west line from Romania to UK. So the north part of Europe and the south part of Europe, we didn't explore a lot. So I think before going in the United States, probably we will try some Scandinavian shows and maybe Italy, Spain. And you never know. We won't say never say never,
No, right? But that's what I'm trying to do. I got some good buddies out of the U.S. there, and I've been introducing my bands to them, and then trying to bring their bands with our bands, kind of cross-pollinate and create a whole little loop that everyone can do, But I just got in trouble because I haven't mentioned we have merch. I'm actually wearing one of our sweaters today. Can't really see it, but it's got
the window is really small on the so sorry.
I got nothing on underneath. So I know we're not a family show, but so with the new album, obviously coming out on tour and stuff and doing that, are you guys obviously you're just going to sit on and focus and push this album for the next bit?
For the moment, we are focused on touring. Really, we missed that. We played a lot this year, and we are still. We have big plans for next year already. We have several shows confirmed next year in Romania, in France, in Poland, etc., in several countries in Europe, and there are several big festivals that are interested by us. So, for the moment, we are still focusing on the tour. But in the same time, the composing process is not. It doesn't stop.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
You're on my headphones. So already, I think I have like 10 new ideas for new songs. but we will start to work on this seriously only starting next year, because we had to work also in post-production for Hellfest, so it will be released tomorrow. And we want also to make the live at Poland Rock, because it was crazy. So we have to work also on this mixing, editing, making video editing, audio editing, etc. So until the end of the year, no work on new music. But after that, it's very likely to start to work on new songs. The idea are already here. There are some changes, because this is funny, when you start to compose, you don't have an idea before to say, okay, I want to do this album, this style, or this thing. But when you start to have new ideas for songs, you realize that they have some kind of common feeling. And for the new album, I think maybe, it's not sure, but maybe it will be more funk, more disco, more 80s, but still with the traditional, with crazy things, but like quite easier, softer, this kind of thing, because previous albums were quite social, quite involved, for political things, social things. And I think now we start to, okay, we did this a lot of time, when we had to say this, so why not to be a little bit more fun, more dance, more crazy? I don't know, maybe, we don't know. Maybe.
Whispers the wind. So, with being so many people in the group, say even at your smallest, 8 members, when you are writing these songs and such, how does that flow? Do you compose most of it, or do you guys all collaborate on it, or?
It's quite a complex process, because I have the main idea, the main starting idea. I'm the main composer, so I record this kind of instrumental demo at home. I have some kind of home studio, like it's even here, the keyboards, guitars, everything.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of setting all mine up today after the interview. That's what I've got to go. Right.
So I record some kind of instrumental demos. No, I do the drums on computer. I have a bass, I have a guitar, I have a keyboard. So the main thing is already done. I send this to my colleagues, and everybody's free to add their parts. And I think, especially when I go in the studio with a traditional instrumentist, everyone is free to add everything he wants. Of course, sometimes I have the main lines, but they are free to improvise, to add. And there is a part of the editing process when I do the arrangements, when you have to make choices, because when you have like 20 parts on the same chorus, of course, you cannot leave everything there. But it's kind of, and I think this is one of the reasons that our music has so much diversity, because there are a lot of people involved. So everyone adds his personality, his touch. And from my first idea, the final result is really more complex and more original. It's even for me surprising sometimes.
Becomes a whole new song by the time you get it back. You almost have to relearn it in that sense, eh? Like,
not exactly. But I think the fact that everyone has, the freedom to try things, to bring ideas, it changes a lot, the feeling. Maybe the main structure didn't change. Maybe the main lines didn't change. But the fine things, the fine tuning adds a lot of complexity. This is why, for example, I think our music it could be it seems maybe simple. It's just some riffs, etc. But if you listen it carefully, you will see there are a lot of layers, really layers, with a lot of things evolving, changing from part to part, from first chorus to second chorus, etc. So I think maybe you can realize this like this. It's like in subconscious that someone can feel it, I think.
Yeah. So when it comes to the traveling and stuff, do you guys have a van? Like, did you guys all chip in and buy like a big band van? Do you rent one? I know my buddies there out of Fortunate Losers. I'm actually helping them with converting the bus over into their tour bus for next year.
When we are touring with the standard version, we have our own van. So quite often we are like 9 people on the van, of course. So we are driving by ourselves, and we have our sound engineer with us. for us, the sound engineer is member of the band because it's so complex. The technical part is so complex, and without him, we cannot manage it because we need all in-ears, etc., with all digital mixers, etc. So, like this. So when we go with more bigger versions, of course, we have to rent another van or several cars, etc. So it's like this. No tour bus for us. It's too
I'm
expensive.
driving around for the company van. I'm driving around the old band van. Now that they got the bus going and stuff, right?
It's too
I guess
expensive a tour bus,
old band
especially
van.
now. Especially now in Europe after the gas prices explode. The logistic prices are incredible. A lot of bands are cancelled touring only because they know that we will lose money. So it's better to cancel it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so true though. Like now, you guys
After
are pretty well independent, then, are you not? Or have you guys
yes,
started up? You're
there's a
independent.
lot of yes, there's a lot of doing yourself in our band. We are driving. For example, if the van has mechanical problems, our bass player will repair it because he knows to do it. Our guitar players both are doing our videos. I do a lot of audio production, composing arrangements, editing. Our sound engineer is doing the mixing also for our lives, but also studio, etc., etc. We are managing ourselves, the band, the merch. We are managing also all the social media, etc. But of course, we are working with professionals. We have managers and bookers in different countries. We have a PR,
Yeah.
for example, in North America. We have a PR in France, etc. But like 80% of the work in the band is do it yourself, even after 25 years, because the band exists for more than 25 years.
Well, you've got definitely your 10,000 hours in where you can say I'm now a professional, honestly, right?
Yes, of course. We learn to do things now. Now we are quite good in doing things. For example, in pandemics, when we had to cancel, the pandemics arrived really before our big tour for us. We had a tour like 20 shows in Europe with Orphanland. I don't know if you know the band. It should be our first tour in tour bus, but it was canceled. And the
Mhm.
first thing, we wanted to stay in touch with the people, with our friends. So during the first lockdowns, we produced a web show, and every Friday we became with a new episode, doing at home, everybody recording, filming, editing, mixing, making video clips, making comedy, making documentaries, etc. So it was like every week we produced things, and even the guys who didn't know to do technical things like recording at home, they had to learn because they couldn't go in studio. So even
Yeah.
the vocal, they bought a sound card to record themselves, etc. So it was a
Well,
fun experience.
so nice to see nowadays so many independent bands like yourselves, even Imperial Age. They're very successful independent bands that show that you can do it. But we're taking the money back and giving it to the bands in that sense. For before, you
Ah,
were just a band, and then you had
now
the guy that
you know
represented you, and then the studio took your money, and then right?
for us, for example, almost all the money goes back to the band, because we
Yeah.
reinvest. This is the only
No,
way to grow.
that's where it should be. That's how it should be. It's the
So
band that brings.
all this is the way that we arrived to this level, is by one of the reasons that we always reinvested almost all the money. So
Yeah.
if we earn money from the shows or the selling, everything goes to new tours, to new albums, to new equipment, to new van, etc. We prefer to have good condition on tour, to have nice hotels, etc. Instead of taking like 20 euros more with everyone or something like this.
No, that's cool, man. I love hearing that. Though. So nice to
But I
see.
think also that what changed. It's quite easier today to be an independent band like 20 years ago, because with all the internet, you have information, you have tutorials how to learn to do things. It's easy to be in contact. Now you have almost free distribution online via Spotify, etc. Something that it wasn't possible like 20 years ago. And even more, you have software to produce your music, to make your videos, etc. And it's quite cheap now. Like 20 years ago, when all this software appeared, it was no Pro Tools. It was like 5,000 euros or something like this.
Somebody
Now it's
had a
like
camcorder, and actually like filming shit in their basement, like not back then, but now, shit, we can go live anywhere you want to be in the world and go live and tell the people.
I don't know if tomorrow you can be on connected, but as I told you, at 7 p.m. CET, we have
Mhm.
the premiere of our live at Hellfest. But a half an hour before, we'll go streaming online on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll be connected from 5 places to 4 places in Romania, one in France. And like TV, our guitar player, he will put some videos that we made during the trip to Hellfest. We'll be on live. We'll put some commercial, etc. And then we'll go. It's crazy. We can do this all at home now. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's sick, man. Like it makes even for someone like myself that does the promoting and hosting and all that, and just the awareness of the bands. It's so much easier to get a hold of you guys now. I don't got to go through 10 fucking people. I just talk directly to you. Hey, man, like, what's
Exactly.
coming? So I will be watching for your new stuff tomorrow, and then once it's officially out, we'll share it up on the page here, and for sure, But
Thank you.
is there for your foods being on the road when you were eating there in fucking Delhi? Was it Delhi? Favorite food?
Delhi.
What did you have while you were there? I love food so much. I gotta know more.
It depends. When we are to the events, we have the hospitality rider. We are asking things. Sometimes we get them, sometimes not. It depends, of course. But when we are we really when we have to go all the way, and we don't have the time to try restaurants in each countries, etc. It's like junk food. It's like chips and beer at the
Yeah,
gas station.
Doritos and beer, some Doritos and a Red Bull.
Of course, of course.
I know. Like last year, we ended up just buying a barbecue while we were on the road, and
No.
just hit the grocery store and and buy whatever, cook it on the barbecue. But this year's been a bit tricky. We haven't really been in one spot long enough to bust it all out, so it's been a bit of
I,
fast food and stuff. And
I will tell you a funny experience that we had with with the food. We were booked at Sofia Metal Festival. It was quite a big event in Sofia. It was like in 2016, and it was the first time when we had a big event abroad from our
mm,
country. And when we sent, the rider, the guy sent, okay, send the hospitality rider, and we were used that to not receive what we were there. So we just sent, okay, water on stage, and it's okay. But we didn't realize that if you don't put on the paper exactly what you want, you won't have anything. So we had the show previous night in Romania, like 1,000 kilometers. So just after the show at midnight, we took the van and we were driving like 14 hours, 16 hours without stopping, not eating, etc. And we arrived to the festival, and in our backstage, tons of water. I said,
what?
what? What? And
Right?
we called our manager. But what happened? You told me that it's okay. You will have food catering. I said, and what did you send to them? But water, and it's okay. And the manager, the stage manager came, but you told us only water. So the guys came with, bought some fruits, etc., to eat a little bit, but they didn't have warm food for us. And in the entrance of the festival, there were barbecue selling things, and we
Oh,
were there, and it was cheap. I think like for $50 we bought for 10 people, but a lot of the things,
wow, man.
with French fries and something like 10 different types of meat, but really good. And we enter back in the backstage, with the big things
Yeah.
smelling very, very good. And all the headliners like Creator and things like this, they came out, oh, we want the same thing on catering. Why the Remainers had this and we didn't have that?
That's
So
awesome,
it was like this.
man.
And finally we shared, we had so much that we shared with other bands, etc. It was nice. It was nice.
You guys have had the privilege of playing with some pretty big fucking bands, man. From Metallica,
Yeah.
they're a fantastic
Yes.
band. Like,
For example, we opened for Megadeth at Roman Area, Bucharest. We opened
what?
for Godsmack. We played with Skindred. Do you know Skindred, the UK band?
Yeah, I know them. Like I know of them. I don't know them personally, right? But
Yeah.
they're
For
awesome
example,
players.
we had a featuring. We played with them. We toured with them in Germany in 2018, and after we had a really nice collab feeling with them. And after that, we made even a featuring with Benji, the singer. It's
Oh,
Pretty Face is the name of the song. It's online.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
from the last album. We released it this year, I think, or last
huh.
year.
Last year, yeah, last year. I think I'll have to go through my notes again. Well, I don't even write stuff down. I normally just listen to your music and then here we are, right? I'm just glad I found the right band because I had the other day I was listening to the totally wrong band and I go to ask them questions about all this music. They're like, "That's not our song."
No, no, no.
You know?
Today it's okay.
Yeah, no, we made out good, man. Fucking. Is there anything else we need to cover about the band? Like, obviously, where do we find your merch once again, man? Make sure we
So
plug
I
your.
think the easiest thing is to enter our site dirtylineshirt.com, and
All
there
right.
you have the links to the merch, to our videos, etc. So you find
Oh,
us on Facebook, on YouTube, on
yeah.
Instagram, on TikTok. We
Well,
even
when
have
you
now for the
post the
kids.
link up above here in the title after the show, I'll get right on that today. I know I got a couple other titles I got to update too, so I got
Thank you.
never ends, you know. But for music, you guys play some awesome music, man. I've been loving it all morning. Cooking my egg
Thank
sandwich
you.
this morning, had it blossom. It was fun, man. I look
Thank
forward to
you.
more music too in the future, but right now I am happy with what you have out. I'll enjoy that for the rest of my life for sure, man. But yeah, man, fucking thanks for coming on again today. I
Thank you
know.
for the invitation. Hello to Tammy and Hollywood Red did already say hello, and there's everyone else who's online. And now here in France, it's almost 8 p.m., so it's lunchtime. I will go find my family.
Right? Yeah, I
And
know.
have
I
a
got busy
easy.
last night, right?
Now I'm enjoying that we have 3 weekends without gigs. We're a little bit Respiro, and after that, it's become crazy again at the end of the year. So enjoy with the time with my family.
Yeah, because here we are now at like 2 o'clock, 20 to 2 here. So yeah, you guys are a few hours ahead of us there.
So thank you again, boss. Ciao,
Oh,
bye, and see you soon.
anytime, brother. Play loud, play proud, people. And make sure you check out Dirty Shirts, baby. It's a fucking awesome band. So play loud, play proud. And I believe we'll see you guys tomorrow with another band. We'll find out. All right,
Okay.
man.